This video we will show you how to access our lab computer remotely from home. So according to the document we show you, the first thing you can open your browser, then type idn.dvc.edu. So then you see they will ask you for your Insight login. So you just log in, enter your information to log in to Insight. So then you will see here they will have your the remote link you can access. So you can add to your fabric. Actually, I already have one, so the DVC workstation. So you will see here, you will see the workstation available for you. So you can add them to your fabric. So that's why earlier I don't have fabric, but now I have that. So we just log in. So then they will actually want to use the Horizon client. You need to install that, or just continue with the browser. So here actually I didn't really install the client, so I just want to show you how to always using the browser to do that. So we launch. Okay, so then you accept that. Okay, so you see very familiar, right? Did you see this one actually is your, when you log into our lab computer, they look like this. So earlier, because I already logged in as an Insight, so then they have my login ID and password. So now they just start to access to our lab computer. So we give them a little while. Okay, so you see you log into your lab computer. So one thing is, before I show you the IDE we want to run, so I will suggest you, because you are access the lab computer remotely to access our IDE. So one thing is, sometimes you have some information or the work you want to save. So instead of to using some cloud service, you can use Dropbox or just attach to the email. But how about we just take advantage to use our Canvas? So you can type in after you log into the lab computer, open the browser, type in forcd.extracture.com. So that's our Canvas site, right? So then log in to your Canvas. So after you log in your Canvas, right, you have all your course. So we can open our course 110. So COMSC110, you can access all the information. The most important thing, because you want to run the IDE from the lab computer, sometimes I have some demo file. I already have that on Canvas. So then you see you can go to the files. You can go to the demo. So then, for example, now I want to show you how can I run the demo file I have in Canvas. So the first thing I want to run the chapter 1 example 1.cpp. So here you can download. Okay, but after you download, where they download to? They still download to your remote access lab computer. So then here you will see they are under, so we don't, let's go. Yeah, I don't want to open this one yet. Okay, so then let me close that. Okay, so we just see here, we're just using the Fire browser. So the Fire Explorer. So after you download, you see they are on your lab computer on chapter 1 example 1. Okay, so let me show you on here how to using our IDE. That's using the code blocks, for example. So we do you search the code blocks. So we open the code blocks. I want to show you how to run the code blocks. And you see the code blocks opened. So by default, they will ask you which one you use. So we use the GCC. So then you say OK. So your code blocks start. So yeah, that's okay. You just leave everything as it. Okay, so we continue. So after you open the code blocks, the first thing before you want to run a program, you need to create a new project. So after you create a new project, you have so many choice. But in our COMSC110, we want to do the console application. So you open the console application. Okay, so we go to the next. So we choose C++ as our compiler. So then you need to give them the project name. So then we just say COMSC110 is our project name. So then you will see the next. Okay, so where they go. So you need to be careful to know the folder to create your project. So usually I would suggest you, because you're using the lab computer, you don't know where they save. So I would suggest you maybe just using the desktop. So then they create the new project folder in the desktop. So the folder to create the project in. So then here, okay, so then you have your COMSC110 project. So this location actually you can specify wherever you want, whatever you want. But the most important thing, you need to know where the location is, because later all those source files they will locate here. So we go next. So then you're just using the by default what they have. So you see you create your project. So your project, you see here you have your source. The good thing about CodeBlocks is after you create your project, they will automatically create a CPP file for you. So then you will see here you have your first C++ welcome hello world file. So then that's your main CPP file. So here this project run this CPP file. But here just the source file you can see. You can edit that. But then you need to run. So you see here you just have your green arrow to run this program. Okay, so this project they will tell you are not built yet. So then we just say we want to build. Okay, so that's your hello world. Okay. So sometimes actually you want to change something, right? So then here we say hello world from COMSC110. So whenever you make a change, you need to run again. You cannot just run here. If they run, they run the previous one before you make the change. They didn't rebuild again. But you actually already changed your source file, right? So that's why we're using the other green arrow. This one is this. You want to rebuild and run again. So if you click that one, you rebuild and run again, did you see the message changed? Earlier only have hello world. So then you have your from COMSC110. Okay. So that's your first CPP file. And also one thing is, for example, you do some homework, you have more things to do. But one thing is sometimes you want to continue to do that at home. So that's why I say now, how you will save this main.cpp at home, so then you can access again. So now here I will show you anything you left over for your work, right? So then you want to download your main CPP, can access at home. So then you can go to the account. From your Canvas account, you have files. So that's the files give you some space you can save your own work. So I create a COMSC110 folder. So now I want to upload because I work on this lab computer. So I want to upload earlier my work. So you see I remember we save in the desktop, like COMSC110 project. So under the COMSC project, you have your earlier COMSC110 project, you create the folder. So you see here is your main.cpp earlier you did. So then in order to continue to work at home, you can just upload to the Canvas. So afterward, when you do from access your Canvas again, anywhere, your main CPP is there. Yeah, so that's how you will run your program on CodeBlocks. So the next one I want to continue to show you, remember earlier, I asked you to access our COMSC110. I want you to run the chapter 1 example under the files. So under your demo files, we have chapter 1. I have one example here. So how should you run this file? So after we download, so earlier we download this file under the download. So now here, so after you create a project from your code block, when they show the source here, that means this CPP file you are running from this project. But now you don't want to run this program again. So you see here, you move your mouse here, right click. You can remove this file from project. So when you remove this file from project, actually they are gone, right? But they are not really gone. They just don't link to this project. They are still have existing file on your desktop. So now you're using this project again. I want to run other source file. So you can add the files. So you add the file. You see earlier, the file I want you to run is from the chapter 1 example 1. So then you open this one. Okay. So you say okay. So then you will see again under the source. It's not from your main CPP again. Actually, it's this one. It's your chapter 1 example. Okay. So you double click on that. So that's our sample file I want you to run. Here, you just open the source file. We are not built yet. So that's why if you want to run this program to see the result from console, you need to rebuild and run. Okay. So here is the example. You see now they show you. So then they will ask you how many hours do you work? Okay. So then how much you get per hours. So they can calculate your salary. Okay. So this example I will talk about more in detail in other lecture. This lecture video, the purpose just show you how to access our lab computer remotely from home, how to open code block, how to create a code block project with the default main CPP. But sometimes you don't want to run the main CPP, you want to run other file. So then you download from the canvas. So then you will upload the file to your project so you can run another file. Okay, so that's our video here.